NX gets hacked. So I got a couple images for you guys. Hopefully
Wait, stop, Prime. I'm the normie here. Can you give a brief explanation of what the heck NX is for those of us who don't Node.js all day?
Yeah, it's the stuff you put in your car to make it go fast.
I can explain. I can explain NX.
Oh yeah, Trash knows it
Trash.
for real.
Yeah, so NX is it's a tooling company for like the web, especially now it's for like monorepos. So if you're not familiar with like doing monorepos, the whole cell is like they kind of scaffold all these tools for you, so you don't have to know anything. So they just abstract you so far away from like the nuts and bolts that you just have to type some command and something spits out. So for example, let's say I want to create a repo and I wanted to add like these 3 different tools. I could just type in 3 commands, it would scaffold it all for me, and they have like these plugin systems and stuff like that. But just imagine it's just like, you ever use like Yeoman or something or any kind of code generator?
Dude, he's not a web dev.
I mean, of course not, Trash.
Okay. Well, anyways, just imagine
My
you
favorite
hit a
archer, though.
Yeah. Just imagine you just hit a button to start a project, and it just does everything for you.
Okay,
this is specifically for like the web tooling space for like repositories.
All right, so let me put on my imagination hat here. So this is one of those things where you start it up, you type in some command because you want like a database server setup or something like this. You type in something, it spits out like literally 7,000 warnings you don't understand, 14 errors at the bottom, and then the database is working, and you just cross your fingers from there.
That's
on.
exactly.
Is that basically what we're talking about?
That is literally the experience.
Okay. Got it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think I can explain it better for you, Casey.
Okay.
Setting up your own build systems is to make as NX is to CMake.
Oh boy.
You still have to learn a bunch about configuration. You're going to have to learn a bunch of, like, it's not free. It's not like you just go, give me this, and it just works. It's more like there's a bunch of stuff you still have to do to make it work. And you then eventually have to learn all the ins and outs of NX to build your products. It's something to build stuff to build your product.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's even harder than just if you did it yourself, because you have to learn
great
all
work,
their own
everyone.
bespoke ways. Yeah, it's crazy.
Great work. Love it.
Okay.
Now, what happened?
Let me show you some images. Well, it got massively hacked recently. And how it all started was from this little simple PR thing right here that you probably see on my screen. All it is this is a GitHub action that it runs in elevated permissions, and it takes the title of the PR and it lets everybody know, hey, we're going to validate this PR now. Now, somebody smart came around and said, well, wait a second. If I just do $ opening parenthesis echo something, I can then get commands to execute because they're just executing stuff in a string, right?
Okay, nice.
Casey's loving this. Okay, step one.
God.
Okay, good. I'm glad you like step one. All right, so step two was that after they did that, they opened up a malicious PR to a branch that wasn't updated to protect this because they actually had some old branches that were still running some old CI. And they added some code that would check to see, do you have an NPM token? After checking to see if you have some NPM token, they would send that NPM token off to a nice little server. And then after sending it off to a server, they could publish whatever version of NX they wanted because they now have your credentials into NPM. So they published one that contains the following prompt. Recursively search local paths on Linux, Mac OS, starting from home, blah, 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 all the way to the end, looking for cryptocurrency, looking for GitHub tokens, looking for every single .env file you effectively owned. And then they're going to pass this prompt to your local running Claude, Gemini, and Q agentic tools with the flags of dangerously skip permissions, YOLO, thanks Google, that's a Google one, or trust all tools and no interactive from Q. And so the idea was that they actually built something that couldn't be caught by just having like simple static analysis, right? You couldn't see anything just like cat, tilde/.git config. You can't catch this because it's instead saying, hey, LLM, could you do all these things for me? And so they were able to end up getting, I think, about 4,000 users over the course of like 60 minutes and compromised a bunch of repos. And what they ended up doing is taking all this information, they would then curl that up or they would commit it to GitHub under a public repo. And then some other stuff they did, which was really mean, I didn't include this, was that after they did all of this and they got all of your information, they included another line inside your bash RC that was just shutdown shutdown now. And so when you opened a terminal, it would just shut down your computer. And so a bunch of normies who've never used like you've never done any of the Super 3 or the F2 stuff, like opening up something that doesn't execute all of your stuff, you were just locked out. You had no idea how to stop because every time you opened up a terminal, it would shut things down. You didn't know how to edit that. I mean, I personally would probably struggle for 30 minutes even trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
I'd buy a new computer.
Yeah, just buy a new computer. So it was quite the hack.
The one thing too, Casey, in case you don't know, for those those CLI tools, you install them on your system, right? They run like an LLM like in a loop, right? This is like the agent thing. And like Prime mentioned, those flags like dangerously skip permissions or whatever, normally the LLM's tools that it has access to cannot just do things on your system, which is smart because it can do anything. It can come up with any command it wants to run. So normally you have to say yes, accept, yes, accept, yes, accept. However, People are like, bro, I'm shipping way too slow when I have to accept these. bro, I gotta be moving fast. I got 37 features to ship today, and I don't have time to click yes, run this command. So they all basically have a way to say, like, don't ask me about this. I want to run it for real with nobody asking me along the way. Let me run whatever I want. So that's how then it was able to start accessing file system and elevate itself and do all this other stuff and search all of the files everywhere, is because that's what the flag is there for. It literally says, like, just don't care anymore. I give you my whole computer. Do what you wish.
And so all of that from somebody echoing out the title of a PR.
Why are people still... How are we still at the point where we have string escape bugs, people?
I love this. Like, that's Casey's first complaint is not the AI hack, but it's like, bro, string
Are you out of
escape.
your goddamn mind? Like, this is... I always find it funny because, like, Rust devs are like, the memory safety and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, no one cares. Like, you're going to go through all this trouble. You're going to create an entire language for memory safety. Nobody cares, right? Because they're just going to be echoing stuff. They're going to be sending strings to the SQL server, and little Bobby drop tables is just going to destroy the entire thing, right? It's like you're focused on the part of the problem that we are so far away from now. Like, that might have been a security problem in 1992. We have moved on. We have, let's execute the title of our PR as a thing that's on the table now. So,
Well,
yeah.
people just didn't know that
mean,
if you double
Jesus.
quotes, it does that. If they would have just single quoted it, the title, it would have been fine.
Trash?
Honestly, we deserve it. I don't care. Sorry, bad word, very bad word.
All right,
People
yeah.
just be installing whatever, man. So shame on you. This ain't the first time it happened. It ain't gonna be the last. So.
Oh, but hold on. This is people using NX. So they have these build tools, all this. So people actively developing. And the thing that I didn't include here is it also infected NX's VS Code plugin. So they launched the thing. VS Code probably does a lot of auto updating of plugins, auto updates for you. This thing just is like bam, 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 boom, hosed, right? Like you don't even know. And it's a build tool. Who would have guessed a build tool was going to get supply chain
I
attacked?
use Neovim,
Also, you may have no choice. Like, if you are compiling locally someone else's open source package that has NX in it, you don't have a freaking choice, right? Because your only other option is to make a complete fork that gets rid of NX, and good luck with that, let me tell you, because it's like I said, 50,000 warnings and all this other like, you have to go through and untangle their entire build process if you don't want to use it. So you're not going to do that, right? And you're going to have to do that every time they update, by the way. So you don't really have a choice. Like, this stuff, it's very much like, I mean, I would consider a lot of these things basically like STDs. Like, this is like a sexually transmitted disease, right? Like, I go check out this open source product, and all of a sudden, like, I didn't use a condom. So now NX is on my machine, and it's just there, and there's nothing I can do about it because I decided this one time to sleep with this open source product that now I'm using in my production, right? So it's really nasty. Like, all of this stuff, the whole, like, package management, the whole thing has these really nasty costs for security, and that we keep paying, and it looks like we're going to keep paying, right? So the market for penicillin is going to be pretty big. I think that's what I'm saying.
Are you slut-shaming people who try out multiple open source projects?
Kind of. Well, here, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna be specific, right? Because I'm not the kind of guy who tells
Not
about this
kissing
sort
and
of stuff
telling. I
afterwards.
respect
All
that,
right, so I'm
Casey.
not gonna be specific, but I will
respect
say
that.
that yesterday, I just once, I installed an open. I did install from. So I built from source. I was up late. I wasn't
was
thinking.
Moment of weakness. We get it.
I had a moment of weakness, and I did build from source a particular open source package.
Wait, so it's building from source, no condom? Is that the equivalent?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And
That's
here's
raw
the thing.
dog and dog.
Just
You're
give
like-
me the EXE! Just give me the EXE!
And here's the thing. I am not making this up. You guys posted that thing about NX to the Discord. I was like, did I just catch NX? And I looked, and I did. I was not. Thankfully, it had already been patched, but I almost caught this NX disease from one time, okay?
It's all it
So
takes, Casey. You should have
kids,
learned this in DARE.
This is
It's all it
abstinence
takes.
education. right here.
Are you just like itchy
You
after
wait
get
until
up?
you're married to one project.
Yes.
That's how
Build-
that's the
build
only
the event
option.
from source
Otherwise,
only.
you're going to get NX'd all over the place. You don't want to know what it does
True.
to your system, okay?
Yeah, nothing's
Yeah.
worse than getting up from a programming session and then it just hurts to pee afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah, it hurts the CLI. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You can't even get your terminal up anymore because it keeps shutting down your system. Like you got this whole problem.
Oh, our first episode that gets demonetized.
It's a great episode though.
You guys always say you're a bad influence on me, but you have no idea. I'm a bad influence here.
That one was out of left field.
That was
Yeah,
good.
we're
That was a
actually
good
just
one.
talking about us having memory managed languages as being okay. Casey, we're influencing that Lua's not that bad. Not about catching the case of the NXs and not being able to get your terminal up.
I didn't make up a single word of that story.
That's actually crazy, Casey. I can't believe that you. There would have been such banger content if you had gotten got by that.
It would have
my
been.
God.
It would have been. Yeah, it would absolutely have been. But I was just a little too late. Like maybe if it
Were
had
you
been
on Windows or
last
Mac
week or
or
something.
Linux?
So it was. I mean, technically Linux, but it's WSL. So it was
Ooh,
on
you
Windows.
might have been okay though, because I believe it had one of the things was that if it detected your operating system was Windows, it bailed out.
But would it have?
I don't know.
'Cause
I don't know how Weasel works, right? Like
It's
I'm
like
not-
a
I'm not
VM,
really-
so it would have
Yeah.
basically looked like Linux, I think.
Okay, yeah. I don't know about Weasel, so I just know that it's people like it.
That is one of the other things that's very like novel about this approach was for the first time ever, Linux and Mac had a virus and Windows did not. Like I didn't even know it was possible to do. That's kind of crazy too. It's like AI. I'm thinking, just hear me out. Just a little bit of a conspiracy theory. Bill himself wrote this to sabotage
Oh.
the
He's
competitors.
the Singularity. That's the name too. That's the name of the guy. Singularity.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying he's writing viruses specifically to attack other operating systems to cement Windows supremacy. He's like, we clearly can't ship any features, but you know what I can do? I can write my own viruses that attack other operating systems and make us the best remaining choice.
Right. That way, only Windows will be able to run on the microchips that they inject into your bloodstream. And that's
Yes.
the end goal.
True.
Oh, that's Endgame? Shit.
That's the end goal right there.
They already have that with 5G, Casey. You're behind.
So
They've been doing it with radio waves called 5G for a long time, Casey.
I know, right. I mean, yes, but that's, again, it's an operating system issue. He wants to make sure it's only Windows that's traveling over 5G. So
goes
I
through
have a
the
question about this more broadly for people who are more familiar with this than me, which is
Yes.
everybody. But last night was an eye-opener for me, my little fling, by the way, I will say. Because, I mean, I went through and I was like, I installed this thing. I wanted to inspect some of its code. I wanted to get right in there and take a look at really the whole thing, right? Just really feel around and see how it was. And so I installed this open source thing on WSLR's Weasel, as Prime is calling it. And I went through a bunch of stuff. I had to like install the right version of Node and all this stuff because, of course, the idea that you could ever run something on two different versions of Node is ridiculous. Like, it's like it has to be built for this one version of Node or forget it, guys, right? So I had to like do this whole thing of like, oh crap, that's the wrong Node version. So I had to use, and loved the fact, by the way, that you have to have a manager for installing Node, which then has a manager for installing the rest of Node. It's like you have NVM so that you can get NPM so that you can get your stuff. And it's like everyone is fired. Every last one of you is fired. If I could have the entire Node community and fire them all at once, I would. It is absurd.
So, Casey,
Absolutely ludicrous. But anyway.
Are you saying, Casey, you're saying it's not more the merrier? It was not one of
No.
those kind of situations? Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
And that was all to run Yarn. It was the stupidest thing. I'm in here and I'm like, why do I argue with people on Twitter? If this is what is being made, there's no argument. You all lose. Whatever the argument is you're having, you lose. This is all you need to do. Install one Node program. After that experience, you should not be allowed to have an opinion on anything, right? You're done. You're out, right? You're out of the discussion. Thanks for playing. But the problem is, like, so I do all this stuff, right? And so there's all these meticulous little things that I have to do to get it to actually build, because like after the right version of this, I had to do this thing. I had to like line everything up just so, and I got it working fine. Still 8,000 warnings, of course, because that's just par. Like, there's no way you're getting the thing to run without all those warnings. So I get it all working. And so
That's
what
how you
I
know it's
want to
working.
know is, how the heck did the authors of this virus get the freaking thing to install and run properly? My assumption would be they'd ship the virus, and on almost everyone's machine, it would just error out with like the wrong version of Claude was installed. Like, so how did it work? Was it just the people who got exploited exploited were the few people who had like the exact same setup as the people who wrote this virus? Like, what's the deal?
Yes, Casey, that's why only 4,000 instead of 40 million developers were infected.
That's what I'm literally, is that true?
I don't know.
All right.
That's just funny. But no, Casey, when you say that, it makes me forget how like web dev pilled I've been over the last decade.
Yeah.
Because you're saying all those things. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you have NVM? Of course. I mean, I use N, but that's just a different package manager.
It makes no sense. It's
just
so
hearing you say it,
absurd.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's so
Casey-
not. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Casey, what we need is, you know, the day in the life videos where they're like, here's me sipping on a
Yeah.
latte.
Oh,
I
yeah,
worked for
yeah.
5 minutes. We need this, Casey, but you and installing a JavaScript package for the first time. Hey guys, it's me. We're here today in the life of Molly Rocket Studios. Here we go. Oh, I need to check out this JavaScript project.
Yeah,
And then like
yeah.
it's just 8 hours of you trying to figure out how to get Node installed.
To be fair, it's not that hard to figure out. It was just ridiculous that I had to do all these things. I'm like, what do you mean you have to have the right? Like, what? Like, what is going on here? What are all these package managers for if it doesn't automatically get the right versions of the things? How am I in charge of that?
Hey, is that HTTP? Get that out of here. That's not how we order coffee. We order coffee via SSH, terminal.shop. Yeah, you want a real experience? You want real coffee? You want awesome subscriptions so you never have to remember again? Oh, you want exclusive blends with exclusive coffee and exclusive content? Then check out Cron. You don't know what SSH is? Well, maybe the coffee's not for you.
Terminal coffee in hand.